So the mid-season trailer for The Real Housewives of Atlanta is here, and it's all about She by Sheree and the battle between Kenya Moore and Marlo. But not just that, Kandi is going against Marlo, and Marlo's mom makes an appearance. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So yesterday we didn't get a chance to talk about it because we were busy recapping The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and The Real Housewives of Dubai. So if you missed those recaps or the story that we did on the family Chantel stars, Chantel and Pedro getting a divorce, be sure to check that out. And yes, I know there's more. That's a messy situation. But let's talk about The Real Housewives of Atlanta. So you know, last week we had a break from The Real Housewives of Atlanta, but they're returning this Sunday, and we're already heating up. And I know some of you have been on the fence about the season. Some of you are still missing Nene. Some of you are missing Portia. But there are some of you missing those folks. But I feel like we have a solid season. And I think because we have new faces, people are still getting warmed up to what we have here. If you missed any of our recaps of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, you'll get a full understanding of my thoughts on the season so far. But in this mid-season trailer that's under 3 minutes, there's a lot happening, including She by Sheree. So as you know, if you've been watching The Real Housewives of Atlanta for a very long time, She by Sheree has been going on for a very long time. But another fashion show with no fashions? No. At the top of this trailer, we get to see that there is some sort of issue, a snafu happening with She by Sheree's runway show that she's about to do. We've talked about the logo. I actually like, first of all, we love the name She by Sheree, but her new logo I actually really like. And I've been rooting for Sheree even before the season started, but she's failed us moment after moment, especially when she is coming after Kandi for what reason? She didn't call you about the Tyrone situation? Speaking of which, we have a couple of appearances from familiar faces during this episode. OGs are in the mix. We've got the man himself, the man who that you guys still quote, a fashion show with no fashions. Dwight's in the mix. We have quite a few people that are making an appearance at the She by Sheree fashion show, including Tyrone. Somehow he was able to make it to Atlanta even though he couldn't make it to Philly where he was. So he's blasting her and not apologizing in this trailer because he feels as if she put him at risk for going back to jail. Not sure how that makes any sense. Speaking of jail, Apollo's here. It's like all the old school people are coming back. Peter Thomas is at the fashion show. Peter Thomas has been making the rounds this year on the reality shows. We were just talking about him on Love and Marriage DC. And we hear he's going to make an appearance on Real Housewives of Potomac as well. Anything to promote his Bar One businesses. I can't even blame him. But the She by Sheree fashion show is underway, and it seems as if we're going to get a fashion show. Right now, nothing's available. However, I'm hoping by the end of the season, She by Sheree will be fully launched. As you know, during the season, she has said she's collaborated with so many men on She by Sheree, and they all ended up wanting to be with her. And that's the reason why we didn't get a She by Sheree collection. It was their fault. All right. So there are other moments that happen throughout the season. As you know, Marlo has been little by little pricking at Kandi. We're like, this is so unprovoked. Like, why are you coming after Kandi? She said in interviews that she's doing it because she's going to make Kandi work for that check. So at one point, Marlo says that Kandi can't take, that she takes care of a man. Marlo's pulling out all the old tricks that she's said over the years. So she says, you're taking care of a man, Todd. And then Kandi responds, how about you get a man and then you can tell me what to do with one. No lies were told. But part of me, after watching this trailer, made me kind of think, at first I was like, this is unprovoked. But I have to say, Marlo coming after Kandi is bringing out that side of Kandi that we kind of like. And I know we don't want to do that, and I did not love that sauna scene because it was gaslighting at its best. And look, this is reality TV, but you could tell that that's a real sore spot for Kandi to get so emotional and upset the way that she got upset. So there's that, and then there's that. You get me? All right. So the big group trip is to Jamaica, and I told you in my interview with Sanya Richards-Ross, she says the group dynamics shift. Based on the trailer, we see that there is a fight between Sanya Richards-Ross and Kenya. She mentioned that in my interview as well. And it seems as if, and I'm not sure exactly who Ross was talking to, based on the trailer, they make it seem as if Ross is talking to Kenya. I just don't see him doing that, but I could be wrong. Who else could he be talking to? Who knows? But the trip to Jamaica, and yes, I'm a little biased, but Jamaica's beautiful. Just the scenes of them going to Jamaica. Sonya's hosting it, and she's a true Jamaican. She takes them to the national stadium. And I have to say, we come after Drew all the time. But when she fell, I was actually really concerned because Drew has had some injuries, and I'm like, God forbid. Drew's pretty young. The last thing she should be dealing with are physical injuries that, So I have a heart. Every once in a while. So I felt for her. But Drew's not out of the mix. As you know, there are still more moments that Drew is going to have. They did not show it in the mid-season trailer, including the doggy bones and things like that. I did see Fatum, though. Remember Fatum, Sheree's friend? I've seen her a couple of times in the mix. So Fatum's still there. Fatum, though, she seemed a little messy. But maybe in messy good? We'll see. So the group takes a trip to Jamaica. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there in regards to that. Other than that, Marlo and Kenya, as you know, that we've been reporting on the tea about the Marlo and Kenya beef that has reached an all-time high during the season. And as you know, during the preview for this week's episode, it seemed as if Marlo kicked her nephews out of the home. Well, Marlo says to Kenya, no one in this group is going to take me away from Michael and William. Kenya responds and says, yeah, because you gave them away. And then, of course, Marlo responds, you're trash. Come on, Marlo, I need you to work on your shadiness. But this is the Shade Assassin, so I wish you luck. But again, the beef between Marlo and Kenya heats up, but Marlo is still going after Kandi. And I have to give it to Kandi. This is probably going to be a quotable moment in future seasons. And she says, she's not Michelle Obama. When you go low, I'm going to go low with you. All right. So the storylines continue. Sanya Richards-Ross is going to take her IUD out after the previous episode where she says, and she tells Ross, I don't want to have another child. But so many of you, including Drew, were like, you need to do that for your husband. What era are we in? But apparently, she's changed her mind. There's a lot of fun antics on how to stimulate that area for Ross. We shall see. This is only a preview. I'm willing to see how this is going to play out. I'm excited about the Jamaica trip. But that's not the only thing. Marlo, as you know, Marlo's storyline, which I've said to you before, based on what we've been seeing, with those solo moments with Marlo at home with her nephews, have not been interesting. They haven't been funny. They haven't been entertaining. They haven't been just not grabbing my attention. I watch it, but they're not grabbing me. But Marlo's mom is going to be on this season. We've heard that before. I also heard that Marlo's mom, when they were testing Marlo out to be on the show years ago, Marlo's mom was filmed then too, allegedly. But now we get to see Marlo's mom. We're going to see what is going on with Marlo and her family for the rest of the season. Guys, as always, I want to know, how are you feeling about Marlo having her peach? Do you think that she brought it this season? Does she deserve to come back next season with a peach? I don't know, y'all. To be honest, I do know. No, she can come back as a friend of and offer what she's always been offering and pay her well for it. Just saying, but not a peach. Guys, if you haven't seen it, I'll post the link in the description of this video. I want to know your reaction to the mid-season trailer. Yes, can you believe it? The mid-season trailer for The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I want to know how you're feeling about the season so far. The ratings have been shaky. I'm not going to sit here and BS you. The ratings for Real Housewives of Atlanta have been shaky. Not like Beverly Hills. They've had a steady 1 million, 1.1 million. They've been doing pretty well. And look, we don't need criminals or madams in Atlanta. But what do you think is missing? What do you think is happening in regards to the rating? Is it because of this particular night and everything that's fallen in the last few weeks on Sundays? Married to Medicine is also returning as well. We're going to get into that and recap that. I'm hearing good things about this season as well. So we shall see. Guys, let's continue this conversation below. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.